Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 3rd to the 9th of February 2020. We begin the week with Venus sextile Pluto. That's a harmonic angle. And this is a week where we're really being schooled now into how to live from a different space. We've been through the pressure point, the forge, the fire of the grand conjunction of Pluto and Saturn, and now, pressurised and re-emerging in a new dynamic, we're being given some alignments that will show us how we can actually live in a different way. So Pluto is the fire, the forge, where we can give our old, outdated density back to source to be renewed. And Venus is going through a purging of her own, the purification of the heart. So with these two working together, we'll learn to work from the heart. So a spark ignites in our heart if we incubate it in the waters of our imagination, and at the right time step into thought and action to make it real. Then this is how we're creating and manifesting. And yet in the world, we're taught to have a thought and then act upon it, and to put thought and action first. These are often valued over spirit and imagination. So it's time to turn the tables here. It's time to make sure that the thought is actually connected to the spirit and felt in the imagination, to make sure that it's something that we really want, rather than just thinking and acting all the time, but then reaching places and goals that don't really mean anything to us. So for the next couple of months I feel this will be the energy, really going back to the source of what excites us, powering up inside, and then allowing the thoughts and actions to happen on a daily basis towards those goals. By Monday we have Mercury going into Pisces. This is a very harmonic placement. It's not written about very well by normal astrologers, but this is our ability to tune in to the 95%. Our five senses are very limited, and Pisces rules everything beyond the five senses. So if Mercury is our ability to tune into higher thought forms, to different ways of thinking, then Mercury's tour of Pisces, which is only a couple of weeks every year, is our ability to tune in to our intuition, to think differently, and to create that imaginative space to incubate our dreams. But in this world of thought and action, mental busyness, we've been conditioned to put our external responsibilities before our own well-being. So now's a chance to let that modality fade away as we adapt to living from the inside out, and to make those subtle changes, to listen to our inner voice, and to change our priorities so that our actions and thoughts will lead to a greater sense of fulfillment and ease in the coming months. It's a beautiful combination there to really tune in with and make subtle but necessary changes in our very way of being. This brings in a sense of simplicity. We hear the word "it's complicated," the words "it's complicated" flung around, but it's not. Often the simplest option is the best. I find when we've got a decision to make, we've often already got a preference for which decision we want to make, but we need to give ourselves permission to make that. So if we're tuning into feeling rather than thinking, the simplest option will be the one that feels best for us. So we need to put ourselves full centre, over and above this desperate need to serve and validate ourselves through others, responsibility and obligation and workload, versus what we'd really like. So we do have permission to tune into that, because we came here to be us, came here to be our true selves, and not part of a mechanical dynamic of servitude. So by Tuesday, Wednesday, look at where we're struggling. Examine that part of your life. And then if we want to use the mind for what it's meant for, we can ask, what can I do to change this? Because the mind will come up with a scenario into the future, often negative. But if we actually turn in on the mind and say, what can we do? Let's think about this. Then it's much happier. And today, on Wednesday, I feel a simple insight or answer will come if we ask that question, that will help us to make our life a lot easier. So to accept our freedom, our sovereignty, to go where the wind blows, to follow our heart, to notice the beauty around us, to be astounded in awe and wonder when we stop and look, feel the flow, get rid of divisions, connect to our wild side and stop hiding. This is the energy that makes life worth living, brings life back to being your life, not a service to others or a responsibility. So by Thursday, really connecting to the fact that you're born free, and really to realise that, your freedom, your liberation, your wildness, your uniqueness and your power. By Friday, Venus moves from Pisces into Aries, and this starts a whole new cycle of the zodiac. This happens once a year. So we were talking about Pluto being the forge fire, sending things back to source that have served us, freeing our heart. And by Friday, we can set intentions for love, self-worth, abundance, creativity and productivity, but all coming from the heart spark, the passion and the excitement. All of these things are linked in our life some way. Love, self-worth, abundance, creativity and productivity. So on Friday, have a look at how those are linked in your life. If there's any weak links, bring those full circle into connection. Because from there, that's where we can take action. Then by Saturday, we have the full moon in Leo. This is 20 degrees Leo for anybody following along. And it's at 7:34 a.m. UK time. Leo is the 5th sign of the zodiac, and the 5th house in our chart is very much about the joy of the inner child and the creative expression. The sun in Aquarius is about connecting to our vibrational wishes and dreams. So this weekend of the 8th and 9th, go back to when you were a child. What were your wishes and dreams before you came so conditioned? Where did they go? Have a look at when you lost them, you put them aside. Full responsibility and conforming to the matrix. Because this whole year is about allowing ourselves to dream and imagine, to centre ourselves and apply ourselves to that which matters most. So this beautiful soulful week wraps up with the full moon in Leo, asking you to follow your heart's desire and allow the magic to flow freely once more. If you'd like to see where any of this is happening for you, I am available one-to-one, online or in person, for soul plan readings. So look at your birth chart, find your unique signature. I also offer energy work because I feel that we're ready to release through the body now. And we're holding on to a lot of things in the cells of our body, but we're also holding on to a lot of things in our surrounding energy body. So this can be done online or in person as well. But I've developed a holistic system, soul astrology, mental emotional counselling and coaching, personal training, but also energy body releasing. So you can come to me for a one-to-one, but it doesn't have to be a straightforward astrology chart reading. It can have a tint of any of those things as well. Putting all the tools together now so that we've got no excuses to let go of the old and to embrace the light, bright, strong and free vibrations that we are, to live with that unique tone and direct ourselves effortlessly to our true contribution. So for information on that, you can check the description box below or my website, astrozo.com. I post daily insights at Astrozo on Facebook, at ZoeHines7 on Instagram, and these videos and more are on Zoe Astro, my YouTube channel. So wishing you a wonderful week, gentle self-exploration, letting go of the past and learning to live from the heart, to grow lighter and freer and to embrace all that we are. So those are the horoscopes this week, and I'll see you next week.